Why is the wells drying up? Okay, in a city, I can understand that if the well is drying up because there's not enough recharge happening, because you got roads and you got payments, you got buildings and all the civil structures. But in agricultural field where every drop of water can percolate into the aquifer system, why is water depleting there? Punjab, the land of 5 rivers, all perennial Himalayan rivers. Even Punjab is facing serious groundwater depletion. Why? The reason is that there is a faulty cropping system that is happening. I understood, first thing I did was, who is the biggest lifter of groundwater? And obviously they are the farmers. They lift more than 70% of the total groundwater that is being lifted. And so, from a pure socio-economist perspective, not an agronomist, from a pure socio-economist perspective, farmers are lifting groundwater, fantastic. They are irrigating their fields. You are irrigating a field means fantastic. You are supposed to be getting more yield. If you are getting more yield, fantastic, you should be selling more. If you are selling more, fantastic, you should be getting more money, more income. You should be contributing better to the Indian GDP. No, none of this is happening. Rural wealth creation is not there. Farmers are poor, as poor, if not poorer. So what is the wrong? What is going wrong? I understood. When I was looking at the causes for the groundwater depletion, I saw that farmers, the moment they strike groundwater, the moment they access water, they are shifting their cropping choice, cropping pattern, away from dryland crops to wetland crops. I saw that millets consume 60 times less water, or rice consumes 60 times more water, which means 6,000% more water extraction happens because of rice cultivation. If 1 acre of rice is not cultivated, 60 acres of jowar could be cultivated. I wanted to create a market for jowar. Why is jowar not, why is jowar giving way to rice? When I saw that, the paradox is rich eat poor food and poor eat rich food. Jowar is a rich food. So, it is a poor man's cereal. There is a poor man's cereal, poor man's tag on that cereal. Jowar, ragi, bajra, all these millets. So, if I have to remove that poor man's tag, I have to do something out of the box. Okay, you cannot bring it administratively, you cannot correct it. Okay, it is anybody's choice. As many as some of you are many of you must be engineers. And if the government says, hey, you are not going to become an engineer, you are going to become a doctor. No, the government has got no right to tell you what career you are supposed to be pursuing or what education you are pursuing. Likewise, government cannot tell a farmer what crop he wants to select. Right. So, eventually, if market forces are creating the demand or the shift to rice, I thought, why not I create the same market force and remove the poor man's tag and try to create awareness about the nutritional advantages of jowar and create enough demand that farmers move away from rice, and therefore we can really reverse the depleting trend. I made a groundwater estimation model using evapotranspiration coefficients and groundwater recharge coefficients, and I found that if I can bring down the rice area by 25%, what was depleting starts replenishing. Okay, so this is what got me fixated that yes, I'm going to make this happen. So I had to think out of the box, because if I have to remove the poor man's cereal, the poor man's tag, I have to think out of the box. Okay, and what should I do? And I made this. So this is a spoon you can use and you can eat. At the same time, this innovation is hitting two birds with one stone. On the one hand, I'm creating a market for cereals. On the other hand, I'm creating an alternative to plastic disposable cutlery. So, when I say I'm creating a market for plastic disposable, an alternative for plastic disposable cutlery, it is actually again, thinking too big. Because if people don't like plastic, there is bioplastic, there is food grade plastic, but people are not using it. Their sales are not as high. So what does that mean? It means that the disposable cutlery consumers are price sensitive. So I have to bring the price down. Today, the spoons are 2 rupees, matching almost with that steel looking spoons, a little expensive. but I want to bring this down to 1 rupee. That's when I will be able to make it, remove the plastics from our food. So this is where I am. So I've been on the technology side. I've developed a machine that is energy efficient, manpower efficient, it's an automatic machine, and also raw material efficient. There's no wastage. And next, I'm getting on to the market, and we're going to do only through social media marketing and e-commerce selling. So all the overheads, marketing overheads are removed. So now, if it is 2 rupees a spoon, I'm planning to bring this down to 1 rupee. It is possible because there will be no more overheads onto this. In this process, there are a lot of lessons learned. So I actually came here to share the lesson I have learned. I learned that entrepreneurship is like a bungee jump. In a bungee jump, what happens? You get to the edge of a cliff, tie your legs with a rope. Yaar, main bewakoof hoon kya? Why the hell should I risk my neck? You remove the rope, walk back. You are not an entrepreneur. But you tie and take a plunge. Yes, I'm going to do it. It's an adventure sport. And you are on a venture and adventure, something similar. What happens is, when you are going down, at a point, you start moving up. Down, 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 down. You start moving up, up, up. So when you start at a point X, you get on to the point Y. The marginal difference is a gain. What actually happens is, while you are falling down, you are building so much of potential energy. And as you reach to the end of the tensile strength of the rope yanks you up. And that's when the potential energy converts into kinetic energy and you are propelled up. What is this potential energy? This potential energy is the experience, the wisdom, and the knowledge that we are gaining as we are moving down. Now imagine, I tie a helium balloon on my head and I take a plunge. I will not be going up as much as I could. That helium balloon is ego. I have noticed in myself that when I started this venture, I had an extreme ego. And that was what made me, struggle for 9 years. 9 years it took me to get rid of this ego. So, if you are having that ego, you will never be able to take a rational decision. I was able to open up my eye as I was falling down, 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 down. And slowly the helium was going out of my head. Okay, and how did it go? What happened to me? What made me give up that ego? I remember I won a national award in Global Green Summit, where the chairman of the sponsoring company, he was holding the certificate on one side, and I was holding the certificate on the other side, and a whole lot of people clicking cameras. And 2 weeks later, exactly 2 weeks later, the same day, Bank of India sent the chief manager, and he had given me a position notice under SARFAESI Act because my account went bad. And he also was holding it in the same way, and I was also holding on the other side of the paper. And the driver was taking a picture. Then what is this here? This is shit. My goodness, kahan hoon main aur kya main jhel raha hoon? Then I sat down, and I was just wondering, ho kyun raha hai sir? Why is it taking me so long a time? What is it that I'm doing wrong? What is it that is not working in my favor? Why is it that a product like this is not moving? And then I realized that yes, it is my ego. So I learned how to control my ego. So in this analogy between bungee jump and entrepreneurship, also a lot of things, when you are using a rope, you first test your rope, okay, whether there are any cuts or any cracks or anything, okay, that is market research. When you are tying it up with your legs, that is partnership. And when you're falling down, you should have the perseverance. You should have the perseverance. At any point of time, you are afraid, and you let go the rope, you are gone. So it is all, there are a lot of analogies, between a bungee jump and entrepreneurship. So I thought I will just share this with you, and I think my time is up. Thanks.